Gasti, the guest-host relationship, is central to our Druidry, as it has been in many Indo-European cultures down the ages. This is a tale of how that relationship was once abused and what came of it. Long, long ago, in the lands of the Middle Sea, the king of the Persians decided to conquer all the lands of the Greeks. He had crossed the Hellespont with his huge armies. Now, to make his way smooth, he sent envoys to all the little kings of the north, asking for earth and water as tokens of their submission. Those who fought he conquered easily, and their people became slaves. Those who submitted were allowed to keep their kingdoms for a little while under his rule. One of the kings to whom the envoys came was the king of Macedon. Having seen the fate of those who fought, he submitted and gave them what they asked. And that evening, to seal the bargain, he held a great feast in their honor. Thinking the king cowed and themselves rulers in all but name, the Persians felt that they could do what they liked. So they demanded of the king that his women folk, his wife and sisters and daughters, come and join them at the feast. Now this was a thing against all custom, both in Macedon and in Persia. But the king felt that he had no choice, so the women came. They came thinking only to appear for a moment and then leave again. When they found they were expected to stay, they seated themselves by the wall and drew their veils over their faces. But the Persians were not satisfied. They demanded that the women come and join them on their supper couches. "Remember," they said, "King, you gave us earth and water." And the king, to his shame, agreed. Now the king's son was also in the hall, and furious to see his mother and aunts and sisters so abused. He argued with his father, but to no avail. Then a thought came to him, and he said to the king, "Sir, you are tired. Don't sit here through the drinking. Go to bed now and rest. I will see that our guests have all that they deserve." And in relief the king agreed and left the hall. Next the prince spoke to several young men of his bodyguard, youths who were still beardless, and they left the hall to follow his commands. Then he went in turn to each of the envoys, saying, "Gentlemen, you do our women folk much honor by your attentions, but they are ashamed because they came so swiftly, without stopping to dress properly for the occasion. Let them go away and bathe and put on fine clothes. Then they will be able to deal with you as you deserve." The Persians were in no hurry. They had plenty of wine and all the evening before them as they thought to work their will. So they agreed, and the women left the hall. And after a time, several beautifully dressed veiled ladies returned, and each one went to sit with one of the envoys. Even then the prince waited to see how the Persians would behave. But when their intentions became plain, he gave a signal, and each of the veiled ladies drew his dagger and struck the Persian beside him to the heart. The bodies were buried secretly in the forest, so that none might know their fate. And the young prince said to them then, "You came for earth and water. Be content with earth."